And what is perhaps the biggest paperclip in the world, Martinsville Speedway getting ready to put on a great performance here. The 19th race of the IORA Cup Series season getting underway in due time as we have 8 minutes on the clock here in practice, and we are grateful to have every single one of you watching along as we get things started. Braxton Whitaker looks like he's going to be 11th on the board right now as we watch Matthew Brower trying to get his first time lap in, and we are getting set up ourselves to see a great race. 125 laps of action, shortened from 150. If you saw it on Twitter, apologies there. Race got shortened as Brower goes 6th and James Thurston is top of the board here as we get our hot laps in for just the final few times. If you're getting started here, well, great to have you back, or have you as your first time viewing this channel live on board. Of course, with the driver of the number 96 machine, we will go see how long he's able to stay on the track. Here's James Thurston's view as we are indeed live from Martinsville Speedway. If you're watching for the first time, watching as a returning viewer, I am David Kreutz, lead producer of the night's event and lead commentator with Gavin Austin, our guest analyst, along for the ride as we see James Thurston riding along with us. The driver of 96 is as he goes right by the front straightaway once again. We are looking forward to a great show. Right now, Jackson Carr going to put it 13th on the board. He's still on the track, but he's going to be way in the back of the pack. It looks like a total of about 19 drivers going to be here tonight to take on Martinsville, and that is one of the biggest fields that this series has had in quite a while. Going to come out to 18, as a matter of fact, as Jackson Carr in the 8 machine. According to timing and scoring, it is the 83, so still a bit of a disparity is going around. And we have a lot of guys overlapping from last night's event in the FORL Cup Series and Wednesday night, proving to have some great racing and a lot of high-speed action at Michigan, a much bigger track than Martinsville. So Gavin, as we get things kicked off here, how do you feel about these guys as they get started for the first time here at Martinsville this season?
Yeah, it's race 19 here at Martinsville, and we're seeing James Thurston having a lot of speed. He's had a lot of speed so far this season. Been really good. He's currently 2nd in points, so we're going to see what he's got today. He's still running out there for qualifying, running some practice laps, just getting used to the track a little bit. And we have Nathan Lyon showing up today, who also has some speed. We have a lot of people in here who are really good at this track, and it's going to be some great racing today.
Absolutely, a lot of great drivers here, as it looks like James Thurston is going to be done with his run, but it did not matter by that point. It looked like he already had pole locked up, as Michael Deitch going to be on the track now. We'll watch his qualifying run. First lap puts him 14th on the board, going to be able to grab one spot as James Thurston in the number 96 machine is currently pole position. It looks like, while provisional, he has a great gap so far, and that gap going to be 23 thousandths of a second. So James Thurston, top of the charts as it stands. We're going to get him in right about now and see how he's feeling. Moving him right into the broadcast booth. Thurston, top of the charts. How do you feel going to tonight's event, the 19th, here at Martinsville?
Well, I haven't won the pole yet. There's still 3 more guys that can run, so you never know until it's over. But so far, I should be starting, at least top 3 or 4 here. So yeah, it's gonna hopefully be a good, easy start, which I'm sure it won't be, but that's all you can hope for.
And certainly able to make yourself known as one of the fastest guys this season, 2nd in the points, and it looks like if something goes wrong with Chase Schaefer's run tonight, well, you're going to be up in the front of the pack in championship standings if you keep it at the top of the board tonight. 125 laps. How do you think this race is going to play out?
Well, I do not believe Schaffer is the one on his account right now, so I think he's either going to have half points or no points, but yeah, this race, hopefully, it'll run as clean as it can go, and setup's a little bit weird, so I'm sure we'll have plenty of wrecks for the broadcast.
It's certainly going to be an exciting one to watch when it comes down to strategy. How are you feeling? Because a lot of drivers, of course, want to see some green flag pit stops, tires and fuels. What do you think strategy is going to come down to?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if we're going to have a whole lot of green flag pit stops this race. I just think it's probably going to be mostly caution pit stops. So, yeah, but we'll just have to see. I'm not sure what the fuel window is, but yeah, all we can hope for is that it's a great race.
Now here, Gavin Austin in the booth. What's your strategy to try to keep a clean car tonight? Are you going to try to stay up in the front of the field this race, or just kind of relax a little bit, or what's your strategy here?
I don't know. The car, I'm hoping the next gen is just going to be very hard to break, because in practice, I slammed to people pretty hard, and the thing just held up like a rock. And yeah, that's pretty basically the best strategy that I can run. Wrecks are going to be hard to avoid with a really difficult to control car, and Just all you can hope for at that point is that the car holds up.
How do you feel about some of the drivers starting around you here? Do you expect them to keep up the speed with you and fight you well, or do you think you're just going to pull away from the field here tonight?
Well, I mean, I'd like to pull away from the field as, everyone else wants to, but I think they're pretty quick, and if I do have any sort of advantage at the start, it's not going to last long, and they'll catch up eventually.
Yeah, well, it's great talking to you before this race. I wish you good luck from here on out, and yeah, let's have a great race here. So, yeah.
Thank you.
We're going to drag James Thurston back into his voice chat there. That is the driver of the number 96 machine, top of the board as it stands. And it looks like tentative qualifying order. It is already in place. And it looks like Chase Schaefer, one of those guys that we have to talk about, a 99 machine. I'm not the driver of that 99 tonight, even though it is his account. He has JD Laird running in that 99, so a substitute driver for the second time this season. James Thurston had Vincent Guecci come in very early into the season, able to keep his championship hopes alive, but I don't think he even needed a substitute. Able to get up on points, and he's up front, second out of a total of 12 drivers who advanced into the Quantum Quest for the Cup. And while Jackson Carr putting on the show for us, the only driver still going around the circuit as it stands. Let's see what he's up to, as Jackson Carr currently 13th on the board. Here is your starting grid for tonight's event, led off by James Thurston with a 19.231, and Aiden Walker right beside him with a 19.254. Third and fourth, Michael Cormetis returning to the series with a 19.476, and Nathan Lyons with a 19.499. Then Vincent Guecci with a 502, and Matthew Brown with a 542, separated by fourth, hundredths of a second, fifth, and sixth. James Bomar in the seventh spot, looks like he's a debutant tonight. Sean Rowe in eighth, and then Sean Conklin in ninth, and River Page in 10th with a 19.615. Antonio Mancini is going to be in 11th. Corey Lyles will be in 12th. They're going to be separated about 3/10, or rather 300ths of a second, as then Jackson Carr going to be right behind him in 13th. Michael Deitch with a 20 flat going to be in 14th, as Braxton Whitaker, final driver, qualifying on speed. And as it stands with a minute remaining, Mason Moriarty has yet to go on the track, nor has Will Shack, and nor has the Chase Schaefer entry for JD Laird. The 99 machine going to be starting at the back of the field, and deliberation whether or not the Chase Schaefer driver, of course, 99 usually is going to be able to get that point that he hopes he gets wherever the driver of the 99 tonight and JD Laird finishes. Substitute driver is going to be the talk of the town tonight, and we mentioned it in the chat that we left beforehand. Substitutions are going to play into the race in this title battle. If JD Laird is able to have the run of his life, get the victory, it might be able to minimize some damage done, even if it is half points, but there still is the possibility that's decided that no points will be given to the driver of the 99, a very debatable circumstance. And right now, everyone except for Jackson Carr not on the track, and it looks like Jackson Carr is done and done. But if we get into the show here, Carr has the most practice, not going to be starting up front. What is the difference when it comes to being a driver? Starting up front or starting in the back? Gavin, I'd love to hear from you in this one.
You know, here it's Martinsville short track. There's going to be a lot of racing here. Starting in the back, sometimes you can't feel really comfortable because you have a lot of cars in front of you. You got to pay attention to them and even the people behind you, because the cars behind you can send you in the corner, and, that can mess you up. Or if there's a wreck in front, it's not a big track, so it's tight, and you got to be careful, like, throughout the race, trying to avoid the wrecks and stuff. So, honestly, Jackson Carr, let's use him for example, where he's starting. He's going to have to be careful for this restart and for the rest of the race here tonight.
And absolutely have to be careful at a short track, no matter the length of the race. James Thurston now on, of course, the front straightaway as we get things started in one lap's time. And Gavin, you mentioned it to me beforehand. As we get this thing started, you want to go through your race picks. So who are you picking to get this one done, the 19th round here at Martinsville?
I'm looking at the 24 machine of River Page here. He may have not qualified well, but he has shown speed here before, like during practice tonight. He was really fast, I think second fast in practice. So, you know what? I'm looking at him tonight. He'll be my pick to bring it in victory lane tonight. So let's hear your pick here.
When it comes down to who I think is going to be able to get it done, I think Michael Cormetis might just be able to get his first win of the season. He's been waiting for it all season long. Not a lot of luck. He's been up front very, very late, but sometimes just doesn't go his way. Tonight's going to be the time where it goes in his favor. I think Michael Cormetis might just have the shot at victory that he's been hoping for all year long. And he's not necessarily eligible for the championship now, very far off when it comes to the points battle, but tonight still could be his night, even if not in that championship hunt points-wise. Thurston gonna roll off there, Aiden Walker there as well, and it looks like every driver, the 18 of which, gonna be there on the grid, and Jackson Carr gonna take an end-of-line penalty, it appears, so he's gonna be starting in the 18th spot regardless of where he qualified, and of course qualifying spot 13, but now going to be dropping down to 18th, and hopefully we'll see him up front as the night goes on. Certainly a lot of pace for the driver of that number 83. Maybe see it later on playing back. That could be the name of the game for the driver of Jackson Carr. Right now, of course, these guys up front, they're going to have to play hard if they want to get this done immediately. We have 125 laps that we getting started. One laps time. A few guys we haven't seen here in quite a while. Matthew Brower, James Bomar, a debutant, Nathan Lyons, and he is here for what I believe is the first time this season. So diverse group of drivers with a lot of different backgrounds in racing. How will it all come and clash tonight here at Martinsville?
Yeah, you know, you talking about Mikey here. He's shown a lot of speed this entire season. He's sitting currently P3 for this restart, and I think your pick is a good choice. I think he may come out here showing a lot of speed and possibly get that win.
It is all possible as the driver of the iRacing official praise truck goes down onto pit road. James Thurston, leading Aiden Walker with Michael Cormetis in the third position, will come down to the stripe for the first time tonight. Round 19 from Martinsville. Green, green, green for the first time here in the IORA Cup Series, taking the trip with the Next Gens Season 3, Round 19. And Thurston gets a great start there. James Thurston pulling away from Michael Cormetis, Aiden Walker there in third, side by side. Guecci is with Nathan Lyons. They're all going to be able to keep it single file. Now in the back of the pack, they're not single file, double file, almost three wide. Everyone makes it through nice and clean. Back to the back, JD Laird able to get through on Whitaker and Michael Deitch. Deitch going to see him go right by him, whipping through the field. It's going to be a driver to the 99 machine, able to make a nice move there. Caution is out for Antonio Mancini backwards on pit road. Let's take a quick look at what just happened. It's your first wreck of the night, and it looks like Mancini down on the back straightaway, and he gets it all screwed out by himself and comes right up the track. Doesn't hit anyone though, so it looks like that's going to be avoided, and it looks like Braxton Whitaker actually gets in the Deitch at the same time. Then it's going to be a big hit there, Mason Moriarty, then Jackson Carr involved. Antonio Mancini just losing it there on the back straightaway. Doesn't look like anyone else hit him there, and it looks like James Thurston was right about a hard-to-control Carr, and Mancini falling victim first.
Yeah, you see Braxton Whitaker and Michael Deitch also made contact coming out that turn, trying to avoid that wreck. I don't know if Braxton kind of just sent it too much into the turn, making contact and kind of putting Michael on the wall there. So that's also something to talk about. But yeah, first caution of the race, 125 laps total. So yeah, let's see how the rest of the race goes. Hopefully we'll be calm. Maybe not. You know, you never know. It's Martinsville short track racing, but it's going to be great.
Certainly going to be great to watch as we are waiting for these guys to back it down in front of the pace truck, and nobody coming down pit road this time by. First caution only took about a lap until we got it, so now it's going to be Thurston leading the way here with Michael Cormetis there in second. Going to be a bit of a checkup there, so Cormetis gets a little bit of a bang on his front nose, but still everyone keeping it nice and straight, and Cormetis in the second position. Aiden Walker going to be in the third spot. Vincent Guecci going to be in fourth, and Matthew Brower is in fifth as Antonio Mancini goes up the high side there, getting his track position back in the 43 machine, knowing he wants it. Going to go right up there. He's going to be now on the lead lap. Jackson Carr, though, going to be down on pit road. Looks like he's going to take his extended damage repair. Might have actually had to pit it there for a tow, as he's been in pit road for more than a lap here. And with two fast repairs, I just don't think he was able to limp back to pit road. Not good, as Jackson Carr going to go one down that time by Antonio Mancini back in the lead lap. So still 17 cars here, and we're only getting things started, of course. 5 laps in out of 125. Going to be a long race here. Not going to be a sprint per se. Martinsville terminology, of course, not a sprint, but a very short mileage. So how are these guys going to play it out as we get back? Double file, is aggression going to go up, or is it now going to be all about clocking the laps down to the tail end?
Say after that wreck, you know, a lot of drivers are kind of mad about the early caution, but it's Martinsville. I know a lot of people after that caution are going to try to race cleaner. You know, they want this race to get over with. It's not too long, but it's not too short. It's like medium length. So, you know, it's going to be a good race overall, but, you know, a lot of these drivers are worried about how the race will go for not only them, but the field.
Absolutely entire field at the helm of James Thurston. Thurston going to be able to take him in. First restart of the night. Let's get a green one more time. And Thurston now going to be dead even there with Michael Cormetis. And Cormetis trying to hold off, but not going to be able to make it happen. Now, Cormetis and Thurston did battle last time IORA went to Martinsville with the Truck Series. Of course, with the Truck Series trucks, and that was a great battle. Cormetis on the losing end of it, but he was oh so close all night long. And look at that. Michael Cormetis goes inching in to the inside line, trying to make it stick. Not going to be able to do so, though, as they go down. Aiden Walker there. Nathan Lyons going to be side by side with Matthew Brower. Brower's going to get turned. 360. Nobody hits him, and that will not be yellow yet, but now it looks like a multitude of drivers are involved. Second caution is out on the night, and Matthew Brower getting turned. That was the catalyst, so let's take a quick look back and find out what happened. Double five with Nathan Lyons there and Sean Conklin right behind him. This is not the moment of impact. We will keep it moving. And how about that 73 going to be involved in caution number 2? 73 there with Sean Conklin, Nathan Lyons, and they just door banged there, and Sean Conklin trying to push him through. And the 73 goes spinning, and it looks like Corey Lau is going to go spinning at the same time. JD Laird going to get there as well. Might just end up hitting Mason Moriarty, and that he does not. Laird able to back it down and get it into the wall instead, and most of these guys able to avoid it. But still a tough situation for anyone out front, as it's still led by the driver, number 96, in James Thurston. Now, things getting a bit slower once again. Second caution in 10 laps. So been a slower race than what we were expecting so far. And you can see you guys going down on pit road. Jackson Carr still 1 lap down. Matthew Brower coming in. And it looks like Will Shack going to be the only driver with the damage there who's still out on track. As Brower on pit road, Corey Lyles is as well. And Lyles due to go 1 lap down if he stays on it. And that he will not, as James Thurston comes around the front straightaway, and another quick yellow to keep us going here. Second yellow of the night, and we'll see whether or not they go 1 to green this time by to shorten it, get us back into the swing of things, although it does not look like that will be the case. Still, everyone waiting to get back underway as the driver, the number 96, and James Thurston leads them here, and strategy not in the equation at all. It looks like a few guys have already taken new tires, and they are in the back, so how much will that impact them as the race just gets started?
I think we'll impact them very much. You know, we've only gone like around 6 laps green so far. Tires aren't really worn out yet. You know, you might be safe taking another tire set. You know, you might be able to handle your car a little bit better, but the drivers up front, I feel like, should still keep up main speed, and I don't think you're really going to get anywhere from taking tires as of right now.
And that appears to be the case, as the entirety of the front of the field is still on the original set, the original 12-lap-old set, as we get set to keep moving once again, led still by James Thurston with Michael Cormetis right beside him. And then it's going to be Aiden Walker in third, and Nathan Lyons going to be in that 4th spot, and rounding at the top 5 at the moment it is Sean Conklin with River Page and Vincent Guecci there in row, it appears to be row 4, as time and scoring giving them a bit of a miss up there. As you can see, the iRacing official pace truck going down and in once again. James Thurston there with Michael Cormetis. Aiden Walker still going to be in third. Will they go aggressive once again? We'll find out. Double file, Cormetis dead even there, but Thurston gets the launch he wanted. Restart 2 underway, and the 96 going to be carrying the momentum all the way in. 13 laps in out of 125. We're back underway here from Martinsville, and Aiden Walker will be there with Sean Conklin. Nathan Lyons going to be there as well, and they go big time shuffling. Ed River Page going to be turned around. This could be yellow number 3, and that it appears to have been. And we have not gotten a lap of green flag action just yet, and we've gone 15 laps. So let's find out what happened once again. Is Matthew Brower involved? And it certainly looks like he's not happy about this one. Sean Conklin and River Page going to tear it up as well. And we'll see, as Page right now going to be down in dead last. Instant replay on the matter. Let's see what happened. And they go 3 wide there. Sean Conklin going to shuffle up with Aiden Walker, and Nathan Lyons just going to have the 24 machine get right in the rear bumper and get himself all turned up. Vincent Guecci going to be there as well. The 41 machine, which I believe is going to be our debutant of James Bomar. Then going to get involved with Mason Moriarty. Then Jackson Carr, Matthew Brower going to be able to swipe away. Will Shack in the wall, and it looks like JD Laird going to barely get out of it. So the same situation for Antonio Mancini, as they were in the same position. 15 laps out of 125. And now, 3rd caution in the books already. So still we wait to get some green flag racing in. We're moving through this race, even if it's at a bit of a slower pace than what we expected. And our 3rd yellow is out of 15 laps, and we've only gotten about 2 green flag laps in at the very most. So pace of this one slowing down severely, and how about we talk to a guy who's able to benefit from it? Let's see who we can talk to. Looks like so far not a lot of guys going to be available for comment, as it seems everyone's still focusing on getting this race underway. Michael Cremetta's is going to be there in second, and Sean Conklin is in third. Of course, James Thurston still race leader, as Nathan Lyons is in position number 4. And how about we dial up the driver of that number 021 machine, Nathan Lyons, there with the Wood Brothers paint scheme, having a great run so far, rounding at the top 5. Aiden Walker is currently Lyons' 4th position. Still a lot of time here in 3 straight yellows. So how do you feel with the remainder of this race still firmly ahead of us?
You know, we're running here pretty well. The 2 wrecks we had, the Conglons have been inches away from getting involved. I'm feeling pretty good with my Motorcraft 21 Ford Mustang, driving pretty well up front. I think we have a shot at winning this thing.
And certainly up in contention as we go double foul, so we'll make it a little more brief than we expected. Any final thoughts before we get back to this restart, and maybe new strategy come into play?
Honestly, we'll see how the race pace goes and where the cautions lay out, because I know there's going to be more cautions, and we'll figure out where we got to pit and all. But so far so good.
And there we have it, Nathan Lyons in the 021 machine getting ready to restart this one. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
We drag him right back in, and he will get on his way alongside the driver of Sean Rowe there. Looks like Rowe going to be right behind him now, as Aiden Walker going to make up that second row. Thurston and Cormetta, same song, third verse. We're back on our way, led by the driver of 96, and everyone going to be able to keep it clean thus far as they roll into the series of first 2 turns. They're already out of it at the moment. Down the back, it is going to be led by the 96. Michael Cormetta still in second. Nathan Lyons still going to be in third. Then Aiden Walker in fourth. Sean Rowe in fifth. And Chase Schaefer's replacement and JD Laird going to be able to get into the top 5 there, as it looks like River Page going to go sliding into the wall there. Let's check in on what just happened, as he's going to take a major hit there, and let's find out why that was the case. Goes up high, tries to make something happen. Looks like he just lost control of that car there. Not going to work out in his favor. Touches Jackson Carr. No big incident's going to be able to come out of it, as now Page down in the back. Big yellow once again. It's a multi-car incident, and it looks like that will bring out yellow number 4. Let's take a look at why that just happened. A multi-car incident this time by, as Vincent Guecci will be right there, and he just gets loose with James Bomar right beside him. And you can see they all hit Sean Conklin there, and you can see Antonio Mancini gets involved. Will Shaka to get rear-ended there. Big time hits once again. Lyles up into the wall there, and Vincent Guecci going to be almost hitting the driver of the 24 in River Page, and another yellow. Yellow number 4, 21 laps in. We are making progress, although quite slowly here. They've had 4 cautions in 21 laps. This could just become a caution fest the way they're going. Even these pacing laps are very quick, so we're already down through a 5th of the race with a total of 4 yellows, as River Page goes up to the high side there, and he's trying to get his lap back with desperation on the mind, as Thurston still leads him. So still 21, it becomes 22 laps in, and it's been mostly yellow. So Gavin, how you feeling about this one?
You know, we're seeing a lot of good racing, but a lot of drivers before, during practice and qualifying, say that apron is very dangerous. You saw Vincent Gucci spinning out there, that last caution, just clipped the apron going into turn 3 there, which caused him to get loose. A lot of drivers are talking about that. You want to be careful, not getting too close to that apron, but you want to get close enough to be able to run and get some good speed out of that turn.
And the perfect turn, it's going to be important for any driver getting rotation here at Martinsville. Admittedly, we have not seen many examples of it so far, given all the yellows that we've had, but when we get into a green flag run, which hopefully we will, you're going to be able to see that it is evident that if you make your turns, your rotations correctly, the right time and the right place, it makes all the difference of being quick at a track such as Martinsville, as Michael Cormetis right there, and the driver of Nathan Lyons going to be in that 3rd position. Aiden Walker going to be there with Sean Rowe as well, as it looks like Lyons going to be able to back off just a bit. The top 2 drivers in formation, and Michael Cormetis lining up stride for stride with the driver of the 96, and it has not been much of a green flag race just yet, but these two have been dead even regardless of the way this race has gone so far, and certainly they both have a lot in the tank as we get back to the action. This time by, we should be able to go double file, and it looks like Thurston going to be going down to the inside already. Nathan Lyons lining up right behind where Cormetis is, and still we wait. So how about we line up an interview with another driver? Let's see who's able to get a call in, and how about the driver in the 8th position of Michael Deitch, dialing someone up not in the can't now. They're going to be able to shorten the yellow, and we will not have an interview just yet. Yellow flag has been shortened, and we will get back to the action in just a moment. 24 laps in out of 125. Next time by, we'll hit the first fifth mark of this race. We'll be back in action. The 96 will be there with the 25. Green flag going to be coming out once again. Fourth restart of the night. 4 yellows already. Let's hope we get a green flag running. Green's out once more. James Thurston leads. Michael Gormetis there with Nathan Lyons in the 3rd spot. Then Aiden Walker in 4th and Sean Rowe in 5th. Chase Schaefer going to be there as well as Matthew Brown is now in 7th. And now everyone able to roll away nice and smooth. Double file even in the back of the pack. And maybe now drivers will get cautious. It's now up front, going to be double file, almost 3 wide there. Michael Deitch gets in the wall. Michael Deitch going to get turned there, and now Jackson Carr gets right into a multi-car incident. Braxton Whitaker going to be involved, and this could be caution number 5, and that it is indeed. Caution number 5 going to be out on the racetrack, 26 laps in out of 125. This looks like it's multiple wrecks in one. Jackson Carr gets involved there, and you can see Michael Deitch goes down and tags Braxton Whitaker. Yet another wreck there, and guys are going to begin going through their fast repairs as it looks like Mason Moriarty going to go side by side and then spin alongside James Bomar, and it looks like Corey Lyles, your Daytona winner, gets involved with it as well. So that's going to be a lot of drivers involved in our 5th yellow of the night, 27 laps in, and we head back under yellow once again. So caution on the racetrack and cautious driving. We're not seeing all too much of it. What's the game plan now for drivers up front? Because certainly they're waiting to get back into the action.
You know, here at this track, you really want to be racing up front so you're not involved in most of these wrecks. Of course, there could be wrecks up front, but most of the wrecks will be caused in the midfield or possibly in the back. So really, you want to make your way up the field, try to race as clean as possible. You know, just try to race your way upfield and, yeah.
You can see now James Thurston getting the push from Aiden Walker. And now it looks like James Bomar going to be back of the field here. Not sure what's going on. 98 laps remaining. As it looks like Jackson Carr going to be back on pit road once again. Mason Moriarty going to be up with the pack. And a lot of these guys, well, they've gotten some damage, but they've still not gone through 2 fast repairs. Some guys have already gone through 1. It certainly shows how intense this race has been. But still, double file, it looks like James Thurston and Aiden Walker in front of our pace truck so far, as Schaefer in the back, or rather his replacement in JD Laird, now going to be in the 5th position. Driver to the 99 machine looks to have gotten a great substitution in, as he's been running up front consistently no matter the circumstance. Chase Schaefer has his replacement up in that top 5 as we look to be heading green this time through. Walker going to be there with James Thurston. Thurston still the leader. Nathan Lyons going to be the outside line this time by, and Michael Gormetis might just have the chance to shoot one in the inside line and perhaps get the race lead. Coming down to the inside line, the pace truck going to be there, and we go green. 5th restart of the night, and 97 remaining. 3 wide there for a second for only a moment, and Michael Gormetis shoots it in on Aiden Walker. Walker to lose a lot of time. Thurston's able to come out in front, and you can see Chase Schaefer's replacement and JD Laird there as well. Sean Conklin going to be in the mix. They went double file for a moment. Now it's going to be all about consistency and being a bit more of a conservative driver. We don't want to see any other wrecks, although it still is absolutely a possibility. Coming out of the inside line, James Thurston there still. He's going to be out in front by a decent margin, and now we might just be able to get this thing on our way. No Vincent Guetch going to reckon this is going to be a multi-car incident again. No yellow is out, and everyone sorted it out, so this should not be a caution, and that it is not. Let's check on what just happened. Vincent Guetch going to go down around single car incident at the start. Whitaker tries to avoid it, not going to happen. Mason Moriarty piles in, and Jackson Carr does as well. Now, well, Shaq was reported to lose time, but it looks like he's all good, and that was a wreck that thankfully got avoided, or rather a caution that got avoided, and now the guys are getting single file. It looks like we might finally see some good long run racing, and how will that impact the way these guys drive?
You know, James Thurston coming up to a lap car for the first time this race of Vincent Guetch, and Jackson Carr, you know, wasn't really having the race he wanted last night in FORL, and you know, this race he isn't either. You know, a lot of wrecks happening, a lot of drivers being involved. A lot of drivers aren't happy about that, but it's racing Martinsville, short track racing. It's good seeing a lot of drivers racing up front well and clean. So, yeah, great race so far.
And absolutely, things are getting much better than what we saw beforehand. 92 laps to go, and now we're in the process of dialing in and getting some better runs in. James Thurston is a man on a mission right now, but Michael Cormetis absolutely needs to dial in. And let's look at that rotation that we mentioned beforehand in that spree of yellows. Cormetis backs it down to the third gear, and you can see he tries to get it all the way down to the inside of the turn. Cautions out from Antonio Mancini in a single car spin. Let's check on what happened, as we certainly see Mancini come into frame there. But it looks like the driver of the 43 machine went down and around and just stayed on the track, and that's what brings out the yellow. Single car incident, but for the safety of the drivers, that will not be... Actually, now it's going to be Luke Shack involved. Oh, and James Bomar. But it looks like they're able to get away before the caution is called, and it's going to be Mancini still on the track there. And that brings out the yellow. Vincent Guecci going to be able to pass him by. And 90 laps to go here, and Mancini does spin himself around eventually in the Guns N' Roses number 43. And it looks like still, that could have been much worse. And, wow, Matthew Brower almost gets catched. He was up in that. My apologies. Caught up in that. As a catch for the driver of the 43 to be able to save himself from getting into more drivers. Still not good at all. Mancini bringing out caution number 6 as drivers coming to pit road for the first time here, but it looks like the guys up front will not do the same thing. As you can see, it looks like it's going to be led by guys like James Bomar right now. Bomar going to be leading this group, including Sean Rowe, River Page, and Bomar going to be the first one out. As Rowe there as well, River Page, Corey Lyles, Jackson Carr. So guys in the back half of the field coming down pit road, and now strategy coming into the equation. How much is this going to impact guys like Thurston or Cormetis as they stay out in front?
You know, Sean Conklin didn't get the lap he also wanted in qualifying, but he's making his way up the field now. Currently sitting P6 here for this next restart, you know. A lot of drivers showing speed, a lot of wrecks, you know. But we're going to see a lot of good racing. I think a lot of drivers are learning the track a little bit more. A lot of drivers are going to start taking it more easy, and it's going to be great racing, I think, for the rest of the race.
That is what we hope to see. How we get a word from the driver of Michael Deitch, or no, we go double file again, and this could be a quick restart, although it does not look like it is. So we will get a word from Michael Deitch once more. We heard from him last night in a great run, so let's see whether or not he's got something in store for us as the night goes on here. Michael Deitch going to be position number 8 as it stands. How are you feeling as we still have 88 laps remaining here at Martinsville?
Well, if we could go a few laps green, that would be nice, but, you know, I'm a little damaged right now, but I'm managing. We're in the top 10. We're about to go green here, so we're managing.
Absolutely. Any final thoughts before we do go green?
I would not be surprised if there's not a caution in the next 30 seconds.
There we have it. Michael Deitch with some brief thoughts there as we get back to the action. Thank you for stopping by. We'll drag you in immediately to your voice chat.
10-4, David.
Drag him right back in. Michael Deitch going to be back on the move there, and looks like race room 1's going to be the place for him as we got a multitude of drivers getting ready, including Deitch. But James Thurston going to be the man who leads us through. Let's get back to the action. Led by Thurston. We're on the move. 87 laps to go, becomes 86, and they're going to be side by side for position number 2. As it stands, these guys able to hold on nice and smooth, keeping it intact. But it looks like now James Thurston watching as Nathan Lyons gets into the rear view mirror here. Let's watch the rear view camera for the driver of 96. Thurston has Nathan Lyons all over him. Ben's going to be Michael Cormetis in 3rd, Aiden Walker in 4th, JD Laird going to be in 5th, and 85 laps remain here at Martinsville. The paperclip, it is on the move, and you see these guys continue to move on as we see the driver of the 85 in the mix. The 54 of Sean Conklin goes way high there, and they're all squirreled out in the back of the pack. Let's check on it and get a closer look. See James Thurston in the front of the pack, but Mason Moriarty can go side by side with Sean Conklin and double file the outside, not working all too much. How much does track position play into this race? Well, we will see as Sean Conklin able to get that move in on Mason Moriarty.
You know, they're starting to get single file, racing clean. This is really what we want to see here if we want to have some great racing. You know, we heard from Michael, you know, he's hoping we go green for a little bit, get some good racing in. A lot of cars are damaged so far, and you got to keep it clean, and yeah.
And now it is all about preservation of this car that these guys have, whether it's a Mustang, whether it's a Chevy Camaro, or whether it is, of course, even as it looks like now we're going to have an incident with a Ford there. It looks like James Bomar up to the top of the track, and that's going to be a single car incident at the moment. No, Michael Deitch going to go losing spots as well, so damaged cars going to be taking their place as Mancini going to dump the driver of the 41 machine right up into the wall, able to save it nicely, but still going to be some big time damage as Antonio Mancini right now racing with Vincent Guecci Guecci. Guecci going to be able to pull away, but now damage is starting to become more of a reality for some of these drivers of what we saw beforehand. Thurston goes down to the inside line. He's going to be leading now 45 laps in, and nobody on his level just yet as they come down the stripe once more. Nobody's been able to keep up that pace. Last time by, though, Nathan Lyons just 5 thousandths of a second slower than James Thurston. Michael Cormetta's going to be there as Aiden Walker is in fourth in the battle in this third position. It's heating up. As you can see, Walker going to have the number 25 machine right there in front as they go down to the front stretch, still single file as they're coming up in the first few lap cars, including Will Shack in that 35 machine. And Shack going to be battling right now in position number 18 with Mason Moriarty there. And they are also close to one another as the lap cars being gained on for the first time tonight. Will Shack going to be seeing that the driver of the 6 is in, of course, the direct windshield that he has, not in the rear view mirror, as Mason Moriarty seeing Shack in the rear view, and both drivers not having the best race, having some damage. They are certainly battling it out nonetheless. And it looks like of the drivers in this event, James Bomar, one of the very few who's gone through all 2 of his fast repairs, so not able to manage it all too well, the driver of the 41, on its last leg in the case of another incident, as James Thurston, rotors are glowing, is catching up to the first pair of lap cars, and this could be major in regards to strategy. Lap cars in the mix that could change up the lead battle significantly, as Will Shack is the first of which that James Thurston catches up to.
Yeah, James Thurston is definitely pulling away from Nathan Lyons right now, but Nathan Lyons shouldn't think it's over yet because it takes one moment to mess up and you can lose a lot of time there. And James Thurston coming up against these lap cars, that can slow him down just trying to get past them. Nathan Lyons can catch up. I wouldn't say it's over for second place, third place, even fourth and fifth.
That it could be. Will Shack going to be able to put himself a lap down, gets up into the wall, still going to keep it rolling as Thurston sees that Will Shack now having a lot of trouble there. He goes up to the high side, lets Nathan Lyons through, so he might just stay there for the foreseeable future as Michael Cormetis is still battling Aiden Walker. And as they come up on Will Shack, we'll see whether or not the 35 impacts this battle at all, although I don't believe he will, as he's just going to stay on the high side there as he has beforehand. That is indeed the case, so Will Shack not going to be involved with the battle, gets in the wall just a bit, going to let him through, and almost has to let J.D. Laird and Matthew Brower through at the same time. But in the same vein, the lap car is going to be letting the leaders in. Mason Moriarty go to the next one that they catch up to. James Thurston on the tail of the 6th machine with 74, becoming 73 laps remaining. This long green flag run, but we're finally getting it. And the driver out front in the 96 is on a tear. As it stands, best battle on the racing surface is currently these guys. What appears to be now going to be at 11th as Vince Guecci going to be passed by Corey Lyles. Lyles gets himself into the top 10 here, and Corey Lyles, despite the damage, still holding on. And some of these guys do have some right side damage as Will Shack goes around in front of the pack. That will not be a yellow single card spin, and nobody else going to be affected. Now it is going to be a yellow as the Will Shack machine goes right around the 35 on the front stretch. Big time damage, and that brings out the yellow with 72 laps remaining, and Shack not able to find a safe place to get it rolling once again. And finally got a green flag run, but it looks like it will come to rest here and now as Will Shack involved in his own incident, and that brings out yellow number 7. That was the longest gap we've gone without a caution, so certainly things are changing. But Shack involved, and now we'll see if the leaders come down pit road. Is it the right time? As it looks like it is for them, and will it be enough to go for the remainder of the way?
You see, Will Shack, I think he just gave it a little bit too much power coming out that turn, just made him lose it. Couldn't keep that car in control there. But yeah, definitely what you're talking about. Are we going to see the leaders pick here? You know, they're going to need tires and fuel to make it to the end.
And we will see as James Thurston comes down to the pit road. It looks like Aiden Walker going to be there as well. Michael Cormetis and Nathan Lyons. Let's see who comes out first. 96 in front of the 93. So it looks like the remainder of the field still on track. We do have some guys on at the moment, and that does include, well, the Antonio Mancini machine and Braxton Whitaker as James Thurston comes out in first. Then Michael Cormetis is going to be in second and Aiden Walker in third as Nathan Lyons is going to now be fourth off of pit road, 6th overall. Then Matthew Brower, Sean Conklin, River Page, and Jackson Carr. Chase Schaefer in 11th and Vincent Guecci in the 12th spot with Corey Lyles in 13th, 69 laps remaining. How will we dial up your current race leader in Antonio Mancini and see what he's doing as the race continues on 69 remaining, almost halfway. And Mancini is your race leader. So Antonio, how you feeling leading this race so far with a lot of time remaining on the board?
I feel like I'm probably going to get out of the way because I think I'm going to wreck somebody if I stay here.
How about that? A pretty brief terminology there. And it looks like you are certainly not hoping to stay up front as it stands. Still a lot of time. Will you play it aggressive later on?
Probably not. I'm just trying not to make more enemies than I already have tonight.
Well, you hear it there from Antonio, currently first, and he's going to lead us to this green flag here with James Thurston second, Michael Cormenez in third, starting behind Anthony on that inside lane.
And Antonio still on the top of the board. So any final thoughts before we get back to this restart? I don't believe he has any. Antonio Mancini still leading the way here. Thank you for your time as we drag him right back into the voice chat. And the 43 machine on the top of the board as we get back this time through. The 43 leads the 96 and we go racing once again. 68 laps to go. Going to become 67 laps to go. Green flag's out, led by Mancini, and Cormenez goes down to the inside already. Using that optimal line, everyone able to stay nice and smooth. Cormenez right there to the quarter panel, and things are getting intense. Mancini is still holding on. Will he be able to lead a lap? We will find out. Antonio still up there on the high side, gets sent up, and now we're going to have a wreck. Sean Conklin involved, and this is going to be a multi-car incident once again. Caution is out, and the caution breeds a caution. As we are 60 laps in to this event, Sean Conklin goes around, and we have yet another yellow racing service. There we have it, and we will try to get a word with some of these guys on the track as we check an instant replay on the matter. Sean Conklin down and around again. This time, it looks like he sends it in maybe a bit too deep. No, it does not look like that. He just gets a bit squirrely. And it looks like he rockets up the track. Does not hit the 93, but goes around right in front of River Page. Then Jackson Carr gets involved. Vincent Guecci there as well. And it just becomes a multi-car pack up from there. Corey Lyles goes all the way up into the wall. Mason Moriarty almost gets involved. And that is all she wrote. Multiple drivers involved there, as it is the 54. Now down to the back of the pack as Nathan Lyons, your race leader, Michael Cormenez is in second, and James Thurston is in third. And looks like, how about the driver in? Well, we'll try to get a word from a guy we have not seen all too much of just yet. Although it does not look like many drivers are currently available. Aiden Walker might just be one of which, as he is currently fourth on the board. So Walker having a great run so far inside that top five. And we're just about halfway here at Martinsville. So how are you feeling going into the remainder of this one?
Yeah, the race is going to be interesting because, I mean, with how many cautions we've had, I'm just happy we're halfway right now. But overall, I feel like the 30 airs kind of hurt it, so whoever's leading can easily keep the lead unless you're slow like some people. I ain't seen any.
And Aiden Walker certainly up front right now, so what's it going to take for you to perhaps get yourself into that leading spot and perhaps come home as the race winner?
Probably just don't die. Probably the best choice.
And there we have it. Well, as we get back to the green flag next time by, any final thoughts as everyone gets situated for a restart?
Probably just what I think is going to be the biggest change is whoever gets a better start here. If you can keep it on the outside, yeah, but for one to green, so.
And absolutely one to green. Aiden Walker up at the top five. Thank you for your time. Dragging him right back in. It is still led by the driver of the number 21 machine as Michael Cormenez there in second. James Thurston now in third. Nathan Lyons up in front with 63 laps to go. The cross flags, they are waving as we get back to the green, this time led now by Michael Cormenez with a major start. Big time move for the 25 as he's going for his first win of the season. And he's proved what he's had under the hood all night long. He's continued to prove it. And now Cormenez leads with 62 laps remaining. Unbelievable. He's going to be up front as it looks like he's going to be there right behind him. Nathan Lyons in second, James Thurston in third, Matthew Brower going to lose a lot of spots there. The pack double file, almost three wide. James Bomar is going to get in the wall there, not going to be able to save it. Double file, Brower is with Mancini. Antonio Mancini almost going to make contact. No, Nathan Lyons goes around from the lead. Big incident. Yellow flag is out once again, and let's find out just why that happened. As Lyons going to go around, and Michael Cormenez there in the mix. Cormenez going to tag him right out of the way, and multiple cars going to come in. Jackson Carr gets involved. Sean Rowan, it just becomes a roller coaster from there. And a big time incident as Michael Cormenez gets involved with Sean Conklin. Mason Moriarty's car is destroyed. And that is going to have him perhaps use a fast repair now, as damage is critical to some of these guys, as Michael Cormenis leads with 60 laps remaining. Caution is out once again here in Martinsville. You have not gotten a lap run longer than 15 laps to be exact. An unfortunate circumstance, of course, but we still have 60 laps to do it and then some. So we still have a lot of time to see how this race plays out. Cormetis up front, James Thurston there as well. And look at this, the 25 machine out in the front of the field, and from there on out it looks like a multitude of guys still holding on, but as it stands, Nathan Lyons now 2 laps down with major damage. Jackson Carr going to be there as well on pit road. River Page, Braxton Whitaker. The Cormenis now leads James Thurston in second and Aiden Walker in third. Vince Iguechi right now in that 4th spot, so we're going to be able to drag him in here as he is position number 4 as we have passed the halfway point. So Iguechi right now top 5 on the board. How are you feeling as we still have more than, or now less than halfway going here on out as we've gotten past the halfway mark?
I don't know. I'm just trying to try and stay alive. I've just kind of been cycling through the field and see if I can cycle up one more position just to then cycle back and then cycle back up maybe.
And been an up and down race for you, it appears. Now strategy, tires and fuel. Looks like some guys have pitted early. Some guys like Antonio Mancini playing it a little longer, been on a stint for much longer than most of you guys. So what's it going to come down to when it comes to strategic decisions such as when you take tires and fuel?
It's going to take about, see how long the run is to the end, because these tires take a while to warm up, and once they warm up, they stay warm. So it's going to take a while to warm up the tires when we have to pit, but we'll see what happens. If we keep having yellows like this, we probably won't have to pit again.
And there we have it. 1 lap to green this time by. So any final thoughts?
No, I don't have any. Just hope to not get wrecked.
And there we have it. Driver of the 09 machine in Vince Iguechi. Going to drag you right in. Thank you once again. Dragging him in, Vince Iguechi going to be right back with his group there as he is currently in position number 4. And Michael Cormetis going to be there with James Thurston. Aiden Walker going to be with Vince Iguechi as we get back to green. Gavin Austin, take it away from here on out.
Coming to the green flag, we got Michael Cormetis taking us to the green flag with James Thurston on the outside. You know, you don't really want to be stuck on the outside lane here because you can fall back a lot, but we've seen speed from James Thurston, so I don't think it will fall back that much as he clears Aiden Walker. Not yet, never mind. Aiden Walker still there on the outside. There he goes, clears Aiden Walker there with Vincent Pucci still there in 4th place. We got 2 wide for the back. We got the 43 of Antonio dropping back. He makes contact with the wall there. 3 wide back in the back of the pack right now.
You can see 3 wide for only a moment there. Antonio Mancini going to lose a lot of spots, and they're going to get real shuffled there. No wreck, and Michael Dyke's going to go side by side with Braxton Whitaker. A risky position for any driver to be in, but it looks like they're able to make it happen. Now Jackson Carr goes up to that inside on Michael Dyke. Could get that spot in. Dyke almost hits the wall, and now everyone is single file with 54 laps remaining, and Michael Cormetis still leads him. James Thurston in the 2nd spot, and they could go back to the battle as Thurston goes down to the inside, and shades of what we've seen earlier in this season. When these two battle, it always ends up with a great finish and a great result. Antonio Mancini go around. That's a multi-car incident. Caution will be out once again, and this could be the 10th or 11th yellow we've seen tonight in 73 laps. So let's take a look at what just happened. You can see Mancini there, going to go just a bit high. Sean Conlon gets right to him. That is going to bring out a wreck. He spins in front of the field. Nobody else gets collected, and that is a caution nonetheless. That brings us back to the state of yellow, and still Michael Cormetis leads the way with James Thurston in 2nd as we get back to the show here and we try to find someone else to talk to as Corey Lyles now up into 7th. So how we get a word with the driver of that number 56 machine and see what he's thinking as we have now gotten down to what will be the final 50 laps of green flag racing when we get back to it. Corey Lyles, now you're going to be in the 7th spot. How do you feel with the remainder of the race still ahead of us?
I could lie to you and say great, but I don't feel pretty good about this race. I'll probably get dumped or wrecked or something. I probably won't finish the race, but if I do, that's great. I'm looking for a top 10.
And absolutely been a chaotic event so far, so how's it been managing and controlling your impacts in the chaos? And unfortunately, we've seen you caught up beforehand, so what's it going to take to avoid that as we go on?
I don't know. A little bit of luck. A little bit of talent. I don't know.
Here we have it. As next time by, we go back to the 1 to green procedure and strategy with all these yellows sort of eliminated here. So do you expect to pit anytime after this one?
Probably, maybe once, but I don't know. It just depends on how it plays out.
And there we have it. This time by, we're going to go double file, maybe by the back straightaway. It looks like not yet. Everyone's already sorted up. So any final thoughts before we get back to the racing?
I don't know. I don't really have any new thoughts.
And there we have it. Corey Lyles, 56 machine, going to be up there in the top 10. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
Drag him right back in there. Lyles there with Chase Schaefer. As we get back to this one, Michael Cormenis still the race leader, and with so many yellows right now, these top guys, they have not been able to leave their positions. It just seems like they pull away nicely and then get restacked and re-racked. So not a lot of racing up front per se, but still giving them a great opportunity to learn more about the cars as they've not been caught up in incidents. So how important is it to have that track position now as we get to the final stage with 49 laps to go?
Yeah, you see Nathan Lyons involved in that wreck earlier on is still in the pits now 10 laps down. We know he's still at faster pairs. I don't know if his race is he's just going to call it the end right there, or maybe he's going to come back on the track later on and try to get his laps back.
And that we will see. He does still have both of his faster pairs. He could be parked for the night, and that would be an odd situation. We will check in on that more as we get to the remainder of the night. And Michael Cormetis still leads James Thurston as we get back to the start. This time by the 25, going to be there with the 96 as the green flag going to roll. This time by the 19th round of the Martinsville. Of course, we are at Martinsville of the IORA Cup Series as we go green. Cormetis going to be there with James Thurston, and you can see Aiden Walker going to be there in third. They're going to be able to go side by side in the back of the back. Antonio Mancini involved there as Mancini goes down and around. He's already backwards, and this restart already has some incidents, and we'll see just what happened as Mancini looks like he just didn't tap anyone. And that's going to be a big neck code as he goes right around and going to be able to keep himself on the track as he's on his own. As it stands, 47 laps to go. Mason Moriarty going to be right there side by side with Sean Rowe. And now these guys are going to be able to finish this race off. No, going to be a big time incident. Matthew Brower goes around. Yellow flag is due to be out. And that it is caution number 12. Let's check what happened. You can see the 73 machine there. Corey Lyles just sends it in just a bit too deep, and Brower gets involved as a result. Big time wreck with 46 to go, and yet another. This race will not quit with incidents. Still, Brower going to be able to hold on quite nicely, get himself back up. His nose are going to be in the wall there. Not sure what's going on as we just missed something. See, Brower was waiting to try and hit someone. He's down on the track waiting. Nothing's going to happen there. And he gets back moving. Certainly not happy about something as he goes up to the high side with Corey Lyles. So not a lot of course, positivity with these guys so far. Lyles going to be banging into pit road. Wushak over there with Mason Moriarty. A lot of damage cards going in once again, and looks like guys just want to race here, but yet another incident will stop them. So what's it going to take to get us into a green flag cycle?
Yeah, you know, a lot of wrecks here so far. A lot of good drivers involved too. You know, it's a short track. A lot of incidents are going to happen. It sucks, but you know, every driver in here coming into this race knew that there was going to be wrecks, knew that they had to find a way to avoid them and where to start in the pack. And a lot of drivers before this race went into practice trying to follow their line, learn that line to race and keep their car clean and figure out the spots to run.
As Michael Cormetis still leads the field of drivers that are able to race with the cars that they still have. As you can see, the 25 machine holding on out in front. Michael Cormetis leading James Thurston. Mason Moriarty going to be able to get his lap back at that time by as the 25 machine still holds on in front of James Thurston in the second position. Then it's going to be Aiden Walker in third, and in fourth, it looks like it is Sean Rowe. And not a lot of these guys, like the PBR group, are going to be there as Corey Lau is going to be banging into pit road. The pit wall going to have a bit of an impact there as we will head back green this time by 43 laps remaining. The first 2/3 of this race, while they're over, it's been a challenge to get them through with a lot of wrecks. And let's see if from here on out, we can take a green and take it clean as we get things started in just a moment. The pace car is not here, but the iRacing official pace truck is, and it will duck down this time by. Let's see what these guys have in store. 43 laps to go, and the iRacing pace truck going to go down in as Cormetis leads Thurston Walker, and Sean Rowe as we get back into the action. Round 19 from Martinsville. It's had, it's up, it's had, it's down. Let's see if we can get a green this time by. Green's out once again. Restart number 12 of the night, and we are back underway with James Thurston on the outside line, commanding it, but Michael Kremes has the optimal inside line, able to take it away, and rotation perfect for the 25 as we look down to JD Laird and the 99 machine and Jackson Carr in that 83. They're holding on strong, and it looks like going to be 3 wide there in the back of the pack. James Bomar going to be there with Matthew Brower and River Page. Page going to get to the back of the wall again, going to spin himself, and it looks like Bruce Shack gets to the wall as well. No caution as it stands. Everyone going to be able to keep it nice and clean. Michael Deitch going to be side by side with Antonio Mancini. Deitch goes down to the inside line and multi-car incident once again. JD Laird going to be involved. Yellow number 13. Let's check on what just happened. Here you see it. Laird going to be in the inside line, and it just gets squirrely and collects Jackson Carr. That is going to collect Antonio Mancini, a big one, and they all spin out as a result. It looks like James Bomar there as Will Shack almost gets caught up, and wow, the 99 machine gets hit again and back on its way. And 40 laps remaining. It has been a troublesome one for every driver so far. It is Michael Kremenis still leading us here in Martinsville. We would try to get a word with the driver regardless. And it looks like one of the guys we have not talked to just yet. Well, it's Will Shack as he looks to be the bottom of this field. 11th position, but he's still going to be on his way. So we will get a word with the driver of that 35 and see how Will Shack is feeling. Is the 35 machine going to be in 11th as it stands? 38.9 laps to go as we get back to the action in due time. How are you feeling so far?
Not too great about the race so far. My car's not feeling great. Not how I like to be feeling, but so far I've been staying fairly close to the top 10 and I've been able to come back after a couple incidents, so I'm feeling better at the start of the race. Probably hoping to finish as well.
And a lot of incidents we've seen all night long, so when we get back to the show here in about a lap or so, what are the expectations with the remainder of this race and the final leg just in front of us?
I'm expecting some more cautions, and I'm just hoping I can take whatever I can get through here and just stay ahead and avoid the wrecks to finish well, because I'm not too strong on the green flag runs.
And it's all about taking opportunities from here on out when it comes to strategy. How have tires and fuel treated you, as a lot of yellows have equalized the strategies for everyone?
Yeah, I've been good on tires the entire race. I've taken a couple sets, but then and fuel, I don't think we need to stop for the rest of the race. So looking good on that part.
And looking good indeed as we get back to the ones green this time by. Any final thoughts before we get back to the race?
I don't have any final thoughts, but thanks for taking the time to interview me.
And there we have it, Will Shack in the number 35 machine up front in the 11th spot. Thank you once again. Back him right back in. We get back to the show here. We should see some great racing from here on out. Shack going to be in that 5th, 6th row range as Michael Kremenis still leading the way with James Thurston machine falling back just a bit as Aiden Walker now going to be in 2nd. If we get back to the restart this time by 13th restart, will it be the charm? We'll find out. Green's out with 36 laps remaining here at Martinsville. Back in the action, number 25 machine going to be there with a 93. Vincent Guecci going to be there as well, and Guecci's going to get turned. Big time incident. Aiden Walker gets turned. As a matter of fact, yellow is not out. And someone wrecking for the top 2. Not going to bring out the caution, and let's find out just why. As Walker goes up there, Guecci going to be able to tag him, and he just goes up to the high side, gets Sean Rowe involved, gets high-sided onto the wall, and keeps it going. That does, in fact, bring out no yellow. We keep it green despite what just occurred. Michael Kremenis still up front with Sean Conklin in that 2nd spot. Vincent Guecci going to be there as Guecci goes around. Going to be able to have that as a single car incident. Nobody gets involved. Yellow out nonetheless. And that brings us to caution number 14 with 34 laps to go. And we will take a quick look back and find out what just happened, as that just looked to be Michael Deitch actually getting into them that time by. And Deitch going to send Conklin around, actually going to send Guecci around at that moment. That brings out caution number 14, 34 laps to go. The home stretch, 92 laps in out of 125. And there you have it, yet another yellow. Let's try to get a word with another driver. We've just about interviewed the entirety of this field. It looks like we've gotten through just about anyone on the surface. Michael Kremenis leading Sean Conklin second, and Michael Deitch in the third position. Gavin, how are we feeling about strategy here as we come down to the home stretch, and still we're seeing wreck after wreck, lap after lap?
Yeah, you know, a lot of drivers still taking it easy while a lot of drivers aren't. We have had a lot of the same drivers causing multiple incidents or being involved in multiple incidents. So, you know, that might play a huge factor in this race, how they are going to drive for the rest of the race, and maybe making some enemies too.
And absolutely been all about making friends on this track, but a lot of guys have made some enemies. And as you can see, Michael Crometis has a clean car. So he's not made any enemies so far, staying up in the front of the pack. What's it going to take for him to seal the deal on the victory?
He's going to have a great restart here and just not really focus on what's in your mirror. You just got to focus on what's in front of you and make sure you hit the turns just right to keep your speed. Make sure you get some good exits and just focus on the rest of your race and what's in front of you.
And absolutely keeping it all about what's ahead of him. And so far, Clean Air has been ahead of him all race long. As you can see, Jackson Carr goes up to the high side gear, getting his lap back. And you can see the 25 there with the 54. See Michael Deitch in the third spot, and he has been moving, able to get himself into the podium, as it is Matthew Brower in fourth, Braxton Whitaker in fifth, James Thurston in sixth. 31 laps to go. Next time by, it would be 30. Truly coming down to the final run of this one. 100 laps in, we will be there in just a moment's notice. As still, Crometis leads with Sean Conklin in second, Michael Deitch in third, Matthew Brower going to be in fourth, Braxton Whitaker making his way into the top five. And as it stands, going down to the inside, the iRacing official pace truck does once more. And here we go. The 25 going to be there with the 54 as we go green. This time by 30 laps remaining here in Martinsville. Let's get this one started off right as Crometis goes up the high side, blocks both lanes, gets a great start. Sean Conklin going to be in the second spot. Matthew Brower going to be in third, and Michael Deitch going to be in fourth. Deitch goes down to the inside line, trying to make it happen, trying to make it stick. It will, but not without nearly an incident. Going to be side by side, no contact. That could have been worse. 3 wide now. Going to be James Thurston, River Page. Page goes down to the inside line on Michael Deitch. Going to be able to make it stick that time by 29 laps remaining. And now side by side, Braxton gets with Deitch. They're able to spin it. No, they're not. Braxton saves it. And now we're going to keep it going. Michael Deitch up to the high side there on James Thurston. Going to get into Mason Moriarty. That time through, and Deitch going to get turned with Mason Moriarty. JD Laird going to get turned at the same time. Caution is out. And let's take a quick instant replay and see what just happened here, as this was a wreck that was brewing throughout the entirety of the third and fourth turn. See Deitch getting into Mason Moriarty, and Moriarty swings right up, gets Deitch. Braxton Whitaker gets tabbed, and it looks like Aiden Walker goes right through JD Laird there. As everyone keeps on rolling, 27 laps remaining, and still held on by Michael Crometis up in front. Sean Conklin, second spot. And there we have it. Gavin, how you feeling? 27 laps to go, and it looks like yet another caution, number 15 on the night.
Yeah, you know, someone to look at is Sean Conklin right here. He's been really good all this season, you know, showing a lot of speed, but he does not have a win. Could this be his race to get a win here?
That it could be. As it stands, Conklin looking to get it done here with these next gens, and it could come down in his favor. Matthew Brower in third as well, and it looks like one of his very few starts this season. We've seen him as a regular in the FORL Cup Series. He is here in IORA trying to make it happen. He's been up front all race long. He's gotten involved in some incidents, not all too many, and still has an opportunity. Push comes to shove, and he's going to be third, lining up this time by with Michael Crometis out in front, River Page in fourth, and James Thurston here in fifth. Whitaker going to be in sixth, and James Bomar in the 7 machine going to be in seventh. So it looks like despite all the damage he picked up and accumulated early, he's still up in this race, despite everything that's happened so far, as it is Crometis with Conklin, Matthew Brower, as River Page is in fourth, 2 to green. This time by, we have passed the 100 lap mark, 25 laps to go here in this race. 19th round at Martinsville, live in the IORA Cup Series. If you enjoy the action, make sure to like and subscribe. It will be greatly appreciated. We will be live with the Highline Racing League ASC Services and Supply Series as soon as this race is over at 9:30 Eastern, as Crometis still holding on strong. Sean Conklin there in second, and Michael Crometis still the race leader, as Brower's in third, Page is in fourth, James Thurston is in fifth, and Braxton Whitaker in position number 6 as we get back to the green, this time by less than 25 laps to go. Crunch time. How aggressive will the guys up front be compared to what we've seen in the back?
Yeah, you know, meant Mikey up there on P1 who doesn't have a win. You know, could this be his first win? But we do see, yeah, he's up front. He's shown a lot of speed this season. So does Sean Conklin, you know, they're up in second. He does have a lot of wins. Are we going to see them battle throughout the rest of this race, or do you think Mikey's just going to pull away like he did last restart?
Well, we will find out. We've seen an awful lot of yellow, so even if he gets a pull away, it could come back to him on a restart. And that we will find out this time. They're going to go in green once again. The iRacing official pace truck off once more as we go green one more time. 23 laps to go. Cormenis gets a rocket launch, and we keep moving. Only one retiree in this event. It's going to be Nathan Lyons, Jackson Carr, 3 laps down, and JD there are going to go down as it looks like Vincent Guetsch is going to go down around that time by. No incident, or rather no caution. Single car spin. We keep it moving. 23 becomes 22 laps to go, and you know what that means. A wreck. We're not going to have to crank it up this time by. Caution is out, a big one. And we will be right back, number 16 on the night. And this involves a multitude of drivers, just about everyone. We will return momentarily to the racing. Let's check on what just happened and see just why this wreck happened. As you can see, Whitaker gets it into Matthew Brower, River Page. James Bomar tries to get away from it. Aiden Walker not going to be able to do anything about it. Corey Lyles gets involved. And it looks like everyone goes in from there. Will Shack, Michael Deitch, Sean Rowe almost gets into it. Antonio Mancini able to get away from it quite nicely. But still, a big incident. And 21 laps remain. And we see yet another wreck. We will have less than 20 to go from here on out. Unbelievably, Antonio Mancini gets through, and we'll get a better replay on how he was able to do that, and we will find out what he did, what it took to get out there. We'll check it with an instant replay. 30 seconds back, goes down to the inside line there on Mason Moriarty. He absolutely does get away from this wreck, though. You can see everyone spins right in front of him. He just yoinks the wheel, and he makes it through. Nice work for the driver of the 43 machine, Antonio Mancini. That's got to be the race highlight. It gets him back into the top 10 as he was running far out of it. Now his opportunity to strike is back in play. And there we have it, as James Thurston in the 96 machine is in the 3rd spot. We'll check in on him as he is currently back in the front of this thing, and we will get a word from his Gavin Austin. Do you want to interview him? So let's get him into the booth. James Thurston, here and now, and take it away from here.
Yeah, James Thurston, you're up here in the booth. How do you feel about making your way up in the front of the field again? You know, a couple restarts ago, you were in towards the back end of the field. What did you do to make your way back up the field?
Well, got lucky and just basically got lucky. That's all I can really say. But hopefully the fresh tires will work like I kind of planned, and we'll just finish the race without getting killed. But there's still 19 laps left, which may not be a lot at Martinsville, but it's also a lot at Martinsville.
Yeah,
So.
Next week we go to Michigan too. You've shown speed there. How do you feel about going into Michigan next week?
If we get a long run, it'll be a lot of fun. Or for the end, I mean.
Well, that's James Thurston. Good luck for this rest of the race.
Thank you.
And there we have it. James Thurston. We're going to be able to drag him in right here and right now as we are heading one lap to green this time by. And now Thurston going to be out of the voice chat here. Gavin, 18 to go. We will have a crank it up this time by. Any final thoughts before we head into the uninterrupted portion of our broadcast?
Let's go racing.
There we have it indeed. Let's go racing. Michael Cormenis going to be there in the mix. You can see everyone getting ready. 18 laps to go. We're going to come 17. We'll have a re-crank it up, and we will be right back uninterrupted. And let's get the show started. The best cameras on iRacing, trackcams22.com. You know what they are, and you know what they mean. The best on iRacing, and we love using them. If you enjoy them, make sure to stop by their link in the description. Crank it up, brought to you by trackcams22.com. And as we come to the conclusion of our Crank It Up, caution's out once again, 13 laps to go. Antonio Mancini involved in that one. Let's take a quick look at just what happened as Mancini, one of the guys involved. So we will take a quick wind back and find out why. As Mancini right there in front of Matthew Brower and the like. So let's see what caused him to get turned around. And it looks like single file there, gonna squirt right up the track, and he's gonna go right there. Rockets back up, and looks like the Mancini machine gets in the Matthew Brower, and that is all she wrote. Multiple car incident. Yellow is out with 12 laps remaining. James Thurston still your leader, as Michael Cormetis is in second, and Sean Conklin is in the third position. How about that? And you can see it. Thurston leading, Cormetis in second, Sean Conklin in third, and Michael Cormetis now gets to that second spot, as James Bomar, your debutant, is in fourth, and Sean Rowe is rounding out your top five. And it looks like we've gotten through just about every driver in this voice chat so far, for every driver that's up front, to say the least. And coming down to the line, 11 laps to go. Mason Moriarty goes down on pit road, might just be done and done there, as Sean Rowe there on the inside line, 11 laps remaining. This is truly the final segment of the event. No matter what single digits will get to them when it comes to lap counts. So what will it take for these guys to manage it inside and out, as anything here and now could just end up being the official verdict on how this race plays out.
You know, Aiden Walker, who's keeping up speed with James Thurston back there in 8th position. I don't know if he'll be able to make it back up the field with about less than 10 laps to go. He may try, but I really don't think it's going to happen. But I think James Thurston, Michael Cormetis, Sean Conklin, I think they'll have a good battle for the rest of the race.
And a good battle, what we hope to see. 10 laps remaining. It'll be less than that when we get back to the green flag. From here on out, anyone could still be the race winner, as James Thurston and Michael Cormetis have been on a tear all race long. Nobody's been on their level, but either way, still a very competitive field here, and we are certainly looking forward to seeing the best of it. Sean Rowe down on the inside line, and Michael Deitch there as well. James Bomar going to be in fourth, Sean Conklin in third, Michael Cormetis runner-up, and in the first spot, James Thurston, of course, up front. He's been all race long, and he's going to be able to take the helm once again. It is Thurston there with the driver to the number 025 machine. Sean Conklin's going to be in third, and it's going to be the 41. And now the 7th timing and scoring of James Bomar in fourth. And rounding out your top five, it's Sean Rowe, P5 on the board. Looking good. Will he be able to make it happen? Will he seal the deal? We will find out. It's anyone's guess, anyone's game, as restart number 17 going to be in the books this time led by James Thurston. Michael Cormetis going to be there as well. Sean Conklin in the mix. Green flag's going to be out once again. 8 laps to go. The 96 going to be leading them through, and he's going to get a great start once again. Will we have another yellow? We will find out, as the 96 holds on strong. Sean Conklin there, and you can see the 25 holds on nice and smooth. Side by side, this is for second, but Thurston now playing it out. And it's all about running these laps out for the driver of 96. He gets a great start as James Bomar gets put into the wall there. He's not going to be happy about that. Let's see how he reacts to it. And he will react with a turn of his own. As he's going to get spun in front of the field. Matthew Brower gets involved, and that will not be a yellow just yet. But James Bomar goes down and around. And you see, he was side by side for only a moment. We will check back to when it happened, as he goes up to the outside, and Vincent Guecci going to tag him there, and he just goes down around for the ride, as Braxton Whitaker there, and James Bomar done for the night. It appears he's parked it, and that will be all she wrote. The driver to the number 51 going to be able to pass Antonio Mancini there, as James Thurston will lead them down with 5 laps remaining, and crunch time. We might just be crunching the numbers for one final time, as the yellow has not come out, and everyone is now spread out. A restart still could occur, as side by side Mason Moriarty was with Will Shack. Shack going to be able to lose a lot of spots there, as now JD Laird going to be fighting with Jackson Carr, and Laird has had his fair share of issues with the car machine. Driver of that number 99, well, it's not Chase Schaefer, your points leader, but it is a driver who will be able to take half points for the driver of the 99, the regular driver to say the least, and keep championship hopes alive. $300, the grand prize for winning the title here in the IORA Cup Series, and it could come down to Schaefer, Thurston, or any other driver in this mix. But right now, Schaefer's replacement might need to grab a few more spots to solidify where Schaefer will be in this championship hunt coming out of Martinsville. James Thurston, 3 laps to go, is your race leader. And Gavin, any final thoughts before we might just see the tail end of this one?
James Thurston currently pulling away from Sean Conklin. I can tell you, James Thurston really doesn't need a caution right now. He's hoping that they go green for the rest of the race. Oh, as he messes up turn 1 and 2, that might have a little bit of a chance for Sean Conklin to kind of gain some speed. But as they're coming to the white flag here, James Thurston out of turn 4, going into turn 1 and 2. For the final time here. Oh, as the caution's out, James Thurston was definitely not looking forward for
and
that.
That is
That might change the
unbelievable.
race.
Just a few feet before the line, they throw the caution, and this resets everything all over again. For starters, before we look at the yellow, we will find out how close they were to the line when they threw the yellow. And no, the white flag was... Let's get a closer look at it. We'll check the starter camera. The white flag was waving the moment that Thurston touched the stripe. They called it an overtime, and check this slow motion. And you can see by this point, Thurston is off, and you can see the starter puts away the flag. And by this point, Thurston had already crossed the line. He thinks he crosses it with the white flag, and we'll take the ticker away for you. You can see the yellow flag's not even out by the point he passes. And then the yellow flag comes out while he's already in the final lap. And that was millimeter precise, although I do think that's not going to be it. No, wow, unbelievable. He was already past the stripe at the white flag when he got that message. And that is heartbreak for James Thurston if it goes anywhere from here on out. Unbelievable. And the strategy gets shifted again. I don't think that anyone's going to be happy about that, let alone the guy like James Thurston.
Yeah, James Thurston definitely is angry right now. He's not happy with that yellow coming out. My pick, River Page, currently sitting P3. He has a chance to bring it home to the win right now. You know, definitely Sean Rowe too. Michael Corman still has a chance. I say that this is gonna really be a good finish, and it's definitely gonna change up the race.
And absolutely, as we try to get a word on what just happened, as it looks like Matthew Brower going to be one of those guys involved with that final incident. And we are taking it back and finding out just what happened. As it looks like, yeah, Brower going to lose it on his own there. And he gets up there with Antonio Mancini. And that is going to be the restart. As it looks like a single car spin might have brought that one out. Unbelievable. And James Thurston not going to be happy. But now it's all about redemption. Will he be able to redeem it? Let's find out. First restart of the night here. And we are overtime. Time number 1, unlimited attempts. Green is out. Thurston going to be side by side with Conklin. We're back on the way with 2 laps remaining. Will they make it to the white? And if they do, it will be official. But now Thurston has to hope and pray. Nobody's been as fast as him all night long. Conklin goes down to the inside line. He sends it in deep. Now it's going to be Conklin all the way to the outside, and River Page gets the inside. 1 lap to go. It's side by side. It was for a moment. This race will be official. Thurston now pulling away once again. Michael Kremes is going to be side by side with Aiden Walker. They're going to be touching. They're almost wrecking, but it looks like James Thurston with one more send in the belt of River Page. It's going to be a bump. It won't be much of a shove, and it's going to be running across the line. James Thurston winning as the field wrecks behind him. Thurston, your race winner, as yet another wreck happens right behind him at the start-finish line. Let's get your finishing results up. Unbelievable. Thurston comes home victorious. And he had to earn that one as he's already burning it down right in front of the start-finish line. Thurston, not what he wanted to see with that restart, but still a dominating performance as Vince Guecci going to be there as well. James Thurston wins over Sean Conklin, Aiden Walker in 3rd, Vince Guecci right behind him in 4th, and this is when the field wrecked. And it looks like JD Lair going to be able to get home in 5th. Michael Kremetis, position number 6. Mason Moriarty comes home in 7th. Will Shack in 8th. Antonio Mancini in 9th, and Corey Liles in 10th. With River Page 11th, Braxton Whitaker 12th, Michael Deitch in 13th, and your retirees go as follows. Sean Rowe, 1 lap down in 14th, Jackson Carr 1 down in 15th, James Bomar 3 down in 16th, and Matthew Brower and Nathan Lyons, your retirees. At the end of the day, James Thurston comes home, and Josh Williams saying winning it twice like Ryan Blaney, and absolutely, that's certainly going to be a call that James Thurston would love to debate. But he doesn't have to. He still comes home your race winner, a deserving win. And Davin, before we get him in the booth, how are you feeling about this one? Any final thoughts before we get him in?
Saw River Page try to give him a little bit of a bumper there, but it just wasn't enough. And James Thurston takes it home. Sean Conklin 2nd, you know. Rest of the field, that was a great race, you know. Just a lot of incidents. A lot of drivers probably aren't so happy about how the race went for them. But looking at it now, I bet James Thurston is pretty happy right now.
And he comes home the victor out of every one of these drivers. A great job, a great performance, and he puts himself at the top of the board. Let's get him in. Your race winner driver, the number 96, able to avoid the chaos and make it all work in his favor. It is James Thurston coming home victorious here at Martinsville. And how do you feel after that action-packed race?
I mean, I feel like Ryan Blaney after that one. Through the caution race, I was coming to the line, and yeah, then obviously I still managed to hold the field off. Conklin almost murdered me right there, but he overdrove the turn super hard, and Page, thanks to him for obviously not destroying me, trying to avoid Conklin. But yeah, just I feel like I won the race twice.
And it looked like it was a very close call there with that restart. And a lot of restarts tonight, I believe almost 20 at the tail end of it. So how was it negotiating each and every run around?
Yeah, it was interesting. That race was fun, and there was a lot of cautions, but I mean overall it was at least decently fun. I think it definitely could have been a lot cleaner than it was, but yeah, I don't know what else we could have really expected from this track with this car, and yeah, just overall about exactly what I expected.
And absolutely able to come home, avoid the chaos, keep a clean car. So strategy, you ran on a 42 lap old stint of tires. So how's it feeling with that car so far? Is it anything when it comes to ill handling, or was it perfect for you?
It wasn't perfect. The car, before the caution came out, kept trying to loop itself in the turns. I was having to really struggle to keep it down, but my plan that I kind of worked through with was to pit early, and it was kind of risky because it put me back in the field. But I worked my way through the field, and I believe I did have fresher tires than Conklin, Walker, and some of the other guys up there at the end of it. Or actually, I don't even know if they were up there at the end. I think they got up there because of the massive wreck that happened at the end. But um, yeah, I think I had better tires than them, and just kind of held off the field a little easier with them, and just happy everything worked out.
And everything working out in your favor, indeed, coming home in, of course, the winning position, P1 next week. Michigan going to be a much faster track. How do you feel going into that one?
Yeah, I feel pretty good going into Michigan. It's a fun track. It's like a pack racing on the short runs, and the long runs you can, kind of hold the field off if you can save your tires a little bit dirtier. It's kind of a factor there, but it's not horrible. It should be fun, but just thanks to Power Smash Infinity Speed Motorsports for bringing me a really fast race car and obviously bringing on the win.
Absolutely coming home on the top of the board. James Thurston, first tonight. Any final thoughts?
Nope. Just happy with the result for me personally, and yeah, just move on to the next one.
And there we have it. Winner of tonight's event here at Martinsville, James Thurston. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Drag him right back in, and let's get in our next driver. It's going to be driver of that number 58 machine in Sean Conklin. Gavin, take it away from here. Second place finisher, Sean Conklin in the booth.
Well, Sean Conklin, you had a lot of speed that entire race. We saw you sent it in, coming to the white flag in turn 3 and 4. What was your strategy there?
Bad judgment call. I think I don't know what I was doing. I sent it underneath him. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get it underneath him, but I misjudged like how far down we were on the back straight. So I wind up braking way too late, and then I was already underneath him. I was sliding up the track, and I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna throttle back up, throw her in the wall because I didn't want to hear the complaining if I wreck Thurston. So I threw it back up, threw the gas, or slammed the gas down, threw her in the wall, and just let Thurston go on. And then we still got second out of it because River self-spun. But so I'll take it. It's good for the playoffs, and that's really all I was here for. I didn't expect this to be a clean race. I didn't expect it to be a good race, and it wasn't a good race. But as long as we got a good finish, it's fine with me.
Yeah, well, you did show a lot of speed. You didn't lead any laps, but you sure did surprise me today. Barely came home with second place, barely beat Walker to the line there. How are you feeling going into next week at Michigan? Last night we saw you had a lot of speed there in FORL. What's your plan for next week?
Yeah, for next week, I can probably just take what I found yesterday and just use the same thing there. I think it's a little bit longer of a race, so maybe we'll have the hopefully we can have another green flag pit stop strategy because I know what I'm doing there. So that's it's a good thing we're going there right after I just learn how to drive that place. So
That is 2 second place finishes for you. Do you hope on getting the win next week? I mean, everyone does, but are you going to try something different to try to take it P1?
just keep driving. I mean, that's all I can do. There's nothing different you can do. Can't change up your driving style. At least not really mid-race. You gotta at least practice it, and I don't know. Probably not much. Just keep driving the way I am and hope it works out.
All right, well, great talking to you. Great race today, and good luck next week.
Yep.
And there we have it. That's Sean Conklin's second place on the board tonight. Let's get their third place finisher in, and that is the driver of the 93 machine, Aiden Walker. He had to climb pretty far on that final set of restarts, eventually taking it home in the final spot on the podium. So Aiden Walker, how was it getting up front at the tail end of this one?
That race was interesting with how most of the time we could make it like 5 laps as a start, which is usual for these Martinsville races. I feel like there could have been some better racing though, because just some drivers just, I guess, don't know how to drive this car exactly, so yeah.
And it was indicative, definitely, of your performance. You knew how to drive it, able to come home in third tonight. So how was it managing the chaos and putting it into your favor?
I feel like most of it was just don't get involved in the wreck, which I kind of did on that one run, so that kind of hurt me there. But overall, I feel like it went fine. But yeah, it was interesting.
Certainly everything able to play out in your favor. A clean car tonight. How important was that compared to something like tires or fuel?
Tires don't matter, but I feel like it's just the only thing that really mattered is not heating up your tires. So tires kind of matter, but they kind of don't. But overall, I feel like if you just didn't get involved in a wrecking, you just stayed in the lead, you were gonna win no matter what. Because with how the dirty air was, once you got behind someone, it would be a day and night difference. Like, so you would go into the entry of a corner, and regularly it would just rotate through the corner. Where after a while, it just wouldn't if you were behind someone, not after a while, but if you were behind someone, it would just not turn. And if you were right behind someone, it would over-rotate, and it was just all over the place.
Yeah, well, podium here at Martinsville. What's your plan? You're good at points this season. You have a chance at bringing home the championship. What's your plan for next week at Martinsville? Or not Martinsville, Michigan.
Honestly, I feel like Michigan's gonna be an interesting race, because that's always been a crazy one, just with how the racing is. So I feel like as long as it just doesn't end up being like Martinsville, which I'm worried it will, because it's Michigan. The car acts like Michigan's a super speedway for no entire reason. But sometimes Michigan has some good racing, of course, but I feel like it's gonna be something that hopefully we don't have a just terrible race like we did tonight. So
Yeah, well, great race today. You did well the entire race, was involved in a few incidents, but that's going to happen at Martinsville. But yeah, great race overall for you, and good luck next week.
There we have it. Aiden Walker to be on his way, their final driver on the podium, but we have one other request to get an interview in, and that will be with the driver of the 025 machine, in Michael Cormetta. So let's get him in before we wrap things up and head on to the Highline Racing League in just a few minutes' time. Michael Cormetta is going to come home 6th tonight. How was it out there in Martinsville?
I had a pretty good race. Started third and was led most of the rest of the race, but had a good car. Coca-Cola Chevy was running pretty well. Just pretty good return after a pretty long break from the league. And yeah, when Thurston got up to me on that last little bit, that last run, I knew it was over. And lost to Conklin on that restart, and then me and River made contact after I locked up in turn 3, and I almost spun out, and then that's why that overtime happened. And then I was gonna have a podium, but then River self-spun, and then I got caught up in the wreck and finished 6th. But overall, it was a pretty good race with the Coca-Cola Chevy, and I'm just happy to have the result that I got after having no practice in this car, qualifying 3rd, and being consistent most of the race. That's all I'm happy about.
Yeah, well, you're doing great all race, leading some laps. You still don't have a win this season. How do you feel going into Michigan next week? Do you think you'll have a pretty good chance at bringing home a victory?
I didn't even know you were here, Gavin. What's up?
What's up?
I'm not much, but yeah. I like Michigan. Michigan's a fun 2-mile track that yeah, it's I'm gonna have a fun time there. And if I decide to show up next week, then yeah, next gen with Michigan is a pretty fun combo. So I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. So close to winning today. You did great. Good luck next week if you do decide to run. And yeah, I wish you all good luck. Anyone you want to thank, like sponsors, family?
Yeah, just thank my mom for this computer to be able to race on iRacing. It's been a long way ever since late 2020, but yeah, it's been fun.
Well, that's awesome. Good luck next week, and great racing today. So awesome watching you.
All right, thank you, Gavin. Bye.
And there we have it. Michael Cormez is going to be finishing 6th tonight, and that will wrap up our procedure here in the IORA Cup Series. We'll be back in just a few minutes here with the Highline Racing League ASC Services and Supply Premier Series, and they will be taking it to the SP Designs 175 at Nashville SuperSpeedway, and we are very excited to have them. Thank you all for watching once again, and we're going to bring up the, of course, credit for tonight's event from the broadcast booth and production, David Troy, to myself, alongside Gavin Austin as our guest analyst, and we will be back in just a few minutes time. Thank you all for watching, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and we hope that you watch whenever we're live once again on FTN. We will be right back. Give us just a moment, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's event. Thank you for your support.